Hello guys, and welcome to a new WARNO video today by me, Vulcan. In this one I'm excited to share with you a first look at Home Defence Region London. This is a new division available in Capital Defence, a Nemesis DLC coming soon. Let's jump on in. Just to note that what you see today is a work in progress and therefore subject to change. I'm going to go through all of the units and we'll put together a quick deck. So we'll start here in the Logistics tab. We have ourselves the Bedford MJ supply. Same supply truck we've had before, 1000 supply for 40 points, 6 on a card. There's also the Bedford TM supply, which is nice. 3000 supply, 2 on a card at 80 points. So a much larger truck for the British, very nice. Then we have the Wessex, which is a very odd looking helicopter, but pretty cool to see it now in the game. 40 points, you get 8 on a card. They carry 750 supply each, so not very much, but you can use them to carry supply back and forth from your fob pretty quickly. Then we have the Gazelle Leader. Unfortunately, these sort of helicopters get spotted and killed pretty easily, but this is 60 points, 4 health. It can help you capture sectors early on, or maybe in like a competitive scenario, it might be useful for sneaking around the edge of the map to cap sectors on the backside. Then we have Rover CP. Really nice that you get 3 of these on a card for 80 points. You get 2 cards of these, and they're brilliant because they have 90 km/h road off-road speed, and they have 100 km/h on-road speed, so super fast on or off road. And then there's also the Humber FFR, which does actually get quite a decent amount of armor. Very fast on road at 100 km/h, but definitely very slow off road with 50 km/h. But then we've got 2 front armor, 2 side armor, so quite resilient. Then we've got the field supply point as an option. Moving on to the infantry tab, we have basically a 30 cal squad, 10 points. These guys are reservists, so yeah, not too great. Then we got the guards with the mag, which is alright. I mean, they have resolute trait. If they had high veterancy as well, then they could actually be useful, like they are in the campaign. Like machine guns are really, really good in the campaign because they have naturally high veterancy, and it can make them very effective. We also have the 50 cal here. Now, interestingly, this one can also target helicopters, so that's handy. They can shoot helicopters at 1,225 meter range, and 50 cals are decent. You can upvet these to make them even more effective, so it might be an interesting squad to try and fit in since you do have a lot of activation points in the infantry tab. Then we have the military police. These can come in the standard rover or the military police rover. They both got the same, so you might as well take the buff here, which is to get the military police trait, which grants units a suppression regeneration bonus and removes any reservist traits. So it's going to be important if you're using a lot of reservist units in this deck. But it's also the regeneration bonus super useful for use next to armor as well. Then we have the HSF. So these are your home front boys. They are both militia and reservists. So yeah, really, really struggling on the stats there. They've also got security trait though, which will increase their optics to good while they're not moving. So maybe a useful unit to kind of spread around a little bit. They are only 30 points for 10 strength. If you give them a leader nearby, you at least take away the reservist, but militia is such a painful trait to have. Then we've got the L6 Wombat, which is your recoilless rifle, 120mm, 35% accuracy at 1,400 meters with 15 penetration. There's a Milan here. Get 8 of those on a card for 50 points, 17 pen, 2,400 range. Rifle Leader. I do like the Rifle Leader. You got the 5 L85s, the L7, the M72, and the smoke grenades. The smoke grenades make this very useful. For 45 points, it's a decent price. You've also got the Humber Pig and the Humber, the Kremlin Pig here, which have smoke launchers on them, so that's kind of handy for making sure they get to the front line as well. Really like that. And we've got the Rifle Patrol. Rifle Patrol, again, come in these transports, which I think are going to be pretty useful. They're really fast on road. They're obviously going to suffer off-road, but most of the time when you're transporting infantry to the front line, you want to get there as quickly as possible on road. There's not many times that you're actually just casually driving off-road. Regardless, yeah, armoured transport with 8 health, 2 front, 2 side armour if you upgrade it, and it's cost the same amount, so you may as well. The only thing is you can't sell this one because it's got a weapon on it, whereas you can sell this one. So that's probably the big difference there. Regardless, the squad themselves are looking interesting with their face shields. M16s, L42, M72 Law, and smoke grenades. They also get that security trait, so again, another unit that would be kind of useful to spread about the place. Now we got the guards. So unfortunately no bear skins in the game, which would be awesome, but obviously it's just ceremonial. Like when the guards actually fight, they put on a normal uniform. But it's still cool to see the leader with his red jacket there. So, guards leader. 5 L85s, L7, M72 Law, smoke grenade. Pretty decent leader again. Like you'd almost always take them over the rifle leader, I think. You also get the resolute trait. I mean, and you get the red uniform. What's not to like? Then we got our standard guards. Now the guards are actually pretty cool. We got the 7 L85s, 2 L86, and the M72 Law. 9-man squad, 45 points, resolute. Not bad for British troops. Really quite nice. Indeed. Their transports are a little lacking. You know, it's just a Bedford, but. Yeah, otherwise, pretty good value. Then we got the guards with the Carl Gustav, which is a very nice squad indeed. Just this launcher is just so much better. You get more range, you get more penetration, you get more accuracy, you get less rate of fire, but making sure you get that first hit is so important because it really lowers the cohesion of armored units. Like if you hit them with an AT, the cohesion goes down, their reload time gets shortened unless they have an autoloader, and then you're going to be able to get a second shot off well in time. So yeah, the penetration, the range, and the accuracy are all very important here. So this is a fantastic squad, and you get 3 cards of them. If you bring them at 2 vet, then you also get 4 on a card. So yeah, it's pretty nice squad. Then we got some Terriers Pioneers. Really nice thing about these is they aren't reservist or anything, so it's just a straight up 9-man Pioneer squad with shock trait. And yeah, whilst their guns are interesting, I don't know if they're actually, it says their guns are actually kind of better with the L1A1. Total HE damage is higher, and rate of fire is higher obviously on the L85. I believe it's just the HE stat takes into effect these stats as well. I'm not entirely sure. Regardless, decent Pioneer unit, honestly. Yeah, very nice. And you get 2 cards of those as well. Then we have Guards Milan, which is 6 on a card, 24 pen, 2,450 meter range. Really good HGM. Well, not like amazing, because it kind of lacks a bit of range, but you know, it hits hard when it hits. Then we got the Amabel Terriers. Again, nice that these Terriers aren't reservist or militia or anything. They wouldn't be militia, but they might be reservist. These guys actually come in with the Wessex helicopter, so that's kind of cool. It's very slow, but at least it has 15% ECM. That's kind of crazy. But yeah, Amabel, 10 L1A1s, L7, L4A4, and Carl Gustav. Pretty hefty squad actually. And finally we have the absolute badasses, the SASG. Now look at these guys. I think they kind of like have their own stance almost. Most of them are standing in the same sort of stance with those MP5 SDs looking very cool. At close range, these guys are going to absolutely rip. They've got the MP5, the satchel, the arm boost, and the smoke grenade. Special Forces shock trait for 90 points. There is not a unit in the game that is going to be as efficient of these as close range. The only ones I can think are like the Fallschirmjäger B1, maybe, are like close, but they don't have as many men. So the SASG would probably win regardless. Really cool. Awesome squad. Then we have the artillery. Artillery is a little bit lackluster, but we've got 81mm mortars here with resolute trait. Then we got 25-pounders available, making their debut, I think, in WARNO. Rate of fire is 7 rounds per minute, salvo length is 6, it's 12k range. It's okay, the HE is a bit low, right? Then we got the 105, which is HE 1.8, 10k, 5 round per minute rate of fire at 6 salvo length. Like for the price, they're okay for like harassing enemy infantry positions. Say if you're in an elongated infantry engagement, then just like putting one of these to attack a building that you are attacking with another unit is super good. Like it really, really helps win those engagements. And then we got the 5.5 inch, which is pretty good. 2.7 damage is okay, 15k range. Again, old gun though. But we do have some nice new shiny equipment. And the AS-90 155. Now this is actually a pretty decent artillery piece. 3.4 damage, 24k range, 5 round per minute rate of fire at 6 salvo length. Yeah, I like it. It's fun. I honestly think you probably could get away with bringing in the 25-pounder and then just have like the 155. So you use the 25-pounder for like just harassing infantry positions to provide that little bit of extra damage that will catch your enemy off guard. And then you've got like the S90s for hitting like hard targets. And then we got the tank tab. So Rover Milan, so a Rover with really good off-road speed, with good stealth as well. Actually going to be pretty scary because that's a Milan 2, 24 pen, 2,450 meter range. This is a nice unit. Then we got the Ferret Swingfire. Again, pretty nice, 2,625 meter range, 23 pen. Good stealth. Really, really important for these kinds of vehicles. And unfortunately for this one, it doesn't get reservist, so the accuracy on the HDGem is worse, but it is still quite efficient, I would say. You know, if with that good stealth, it means it's going to be able to fire a shot and not get revealed, whereas something like this, the Swingfire with the mediocre stealth, big difference indeed. All right, Centurion Mark 13, leader tank, 16 penetration, 10 front armor, 5 side, pretty slow tank. If you want it without the leader, then yeah, you're looking at reservists. I mean, these are all reservists. It's just the reason that this has 50% accuracy and this has 45% is because of the base 1 vet you get for bringing it as a leader. So this is the normal stats of the Centurion Mark 13 with the reservist trait. So 45% accuracy at 16 pen, 1,925 meter range. Still going to be pretty nasty at close range. Like, you bring these through a forest line and ambush enemy tanks with them, which you'll have plenty of these in large numbers at 65 points apiece. They're going to slam pretty hard. Then you got the Centurion Mark 1-4. This is actually going to be a really nice infantry support tank because whilst its main gun is not that good, it does get a 50 cal. So it's got double machine gun plus 50 cal. And then you got 12 front armor as well. So really, really nice. So you got a machine gun here, and a machine gun on the top. Very, very cool. And the Chieftain Mark 9, getting that upgraded gun is a big deal. 19 penetration, 2,100 meter range, 60% accuracy. Really nice side shot sniper tank. You don't really want to have these like push across the open because they're so slow, but if you can get them into really good positions to provide side shots or just like pick away at targets at a distance, their accuracy is really, really useful and they're very cost efficient. And then we got the Challenger Mark II. Challenger Mark IIs are kind of lackluster in my opinion, but it's the best you got in this case. 220 points, 18 front armor, 2,275 meter range with that 60% accuracy. I would love it if they turned up the accuracy on these a little bit more. Just make them more like of a sniper tank, you know, because if you've got the barrel that's... I'm not sure if the L11 has the rifling. I assume it does. But either way, Yeah, it'd be cool if they had like a little bit of accuracy here, because overall the tank stats are kind of low. I feel like challenges should just be better in this game than they are, but maybe that's just my British bias. Anyway, moving on. Recon. Terrier Scouts. 4-man squad with good optics, very good optics. They can be brought in with a rover or the rover yeoman, which is a recon rover with good stealth. It's kind of interesting. I don't know how useful it really is. I mean, double machine gun can be useful for fire support, I guess, but yeah, it doesn't have any armor or anything, so it's going to die pretty quick. And then we got standard scout squad, so 4-man squad with an M72. Only brought in the normal rover. It'd be cool if the rover yeoman could be used by the normal scouts as well. That would be interesting, because I really like how they add interesting units like this, like a little bit different to the rest of the units that you see all the time. It's just sometimes they're on or with units that you don't use that much, or you wouldn't want to use. Like, why would you want to use a Terrier Scout in this situation over a normal Scout? I guess they're like really cheap and you get more of them, but yeah, like Scouts having the M72 in order to be able to actually ambush things that come by them is super important. Scout AH1, very good helicopter, very good optics helicopter. I don't know if it's a very good helicopter, it's kind of slow. 30 points, it's cheap, slow, but good optics. Then we got the Guards Sniper, L85 with an L96 sniper rifle, looking pretty cool. I really like the L96. It's a very aesthetically pleasing gun in my opinion. Again, might be a British bias, but we got some pretty cool looking snipers. He's a sniper unit, so he does get the increase to damage and accuracy when not moving, but has to remain still for 10 seconds to get that effect. And then we got the Resolute trait there as well, which isn't too handy for a 2-man squad, because they're probably just going to get dead, or be dead if they get spotted. But this is a very interesting helicopter. The A109 with gun pods and rocket pods. It is also a special forces, which means it deals more damage. Yeah, curious how well that's actually going to perform. Really, really interesting helicopter that you can bring in as a transport. Then we got the Scorpion. Scorpion's super lackluster due to its low accuracy and low rate of fire. But yeah, it is what it is. Lynx AH7 Chancellor. Very nice, exceptional optics helicopter. Definitely worth using to get that extra sight range. Then we've got the Fox. The Raden, pretty decent autocannon on a fast hull. Yeah, it's really nice. 65, and you get 3 cards of these, 4 on a card. Like, you could just spam the crap out of Foxes in this deck. This is, actually, now I think about it, this could be pretty disgusting. Because there's also the Fox with the exceptional optics. So, whilst this is like 10 points more expensive, you go from good to exceptional. So it's not even like very good, right, to exceptional. It's good to exceptional, which is a huge jump for 10 points. Like, this is a very nice unit. But I'm just thinking people are definitely going to do something like this and run down people in 1v1s. Oh no. Oh no. Alright, moving on. AA. You got blowpipes, 2-man squad with a blowpipe. Blowpipes are really low accuracy at 30%, but they got reasonable range, 2,650 meter range. 1,774 versus aircraft. But these are good for shooting down things like Mi2s. And for 10 points, they can be reasonable value. Unfortunately, you don't get the truck with a blowpipe on the back. Like, there's the combination in another deck where you get like a blowpipe with a blowpipe truck, which is a pretty nice combo. 10 points, you can't really go wrong. Javelin. AA Javelin, this is the 55% accuracy. 4 HE, 2,400 meter range. So you're lacking range against helicopters, but you get a bit of extra range against aircraft. And 55% accuracy is actually reasonable. If you upbet them, you can bring in like 6, then you can push that to 60% if you wanted to. But better than that, we have the Starstreak. Now this is a very interesting weapon system. We haven't seen these in the game yet, I don't believe. Really cool. 2,825 meter range against helicopters. Very long range infrared platform. Well, technically they're not infrared, they're guided. And then you got 65% accuracy. So yeah, this is very, very nice AA on an infantry squad. 4 health as well. Only trouble with these sorts of units is you can't put them, like the LML units, you can't put them in buildings. So that's something you've got to bear in mind. But otherwise, very, very nice. Then we got the Rapier FSB-1s. These are the radar rapiers with 3,175 meter range against helicopters, 3,875 meter range against aircraft, 65% accuracy. A bit short range for aircraft, honestly, but very effective against shooting down helicopters. And they're accurate. So if you give them veterancy, again, like if you 1-vet these and then give them a leader, and then they push to 2-vet, you're looking at 75% accuracy, which is really nice if you exploit it. Finally, we got the Bloodhound. And finally, we got something to kind of rival the Cub, I guess, on the Allied side. This is even more RNG than that, because you only get one of them. It's like, I guess if you fire one, you'll move afterwards anyway, but it's a really interesting platform. You get 3 on a card, you can get 2 cards. And so you're probably going to set up like batteries of like 3 of these and then just move them after they fire. They got 6,000 meter range against aircraft, which is really nice. They got 13 damage. Now I'm not even sure if this is enough to one-shot. I'm just going to check the Krug so that we can tell if it can or not, because the Krug can. Yeah, it's the same HE as the Krug. So that can one-shot, which is really important. Really, really interesting AA piece. And love to see it in the game. Looks super cool. The missile is awesome. Look how many boosters are on that thing. It's like a booster. Yeah, mental. Alright, well, that's going to be really cool to watch. Then we got the helicopters. So Gazelle AH-1 with 12 rockets. So little 20-point rocket pods. And then we got Lynx AH-7 Hell Arm. This is the ITO, not the TOW2 or anything. So not crazy penetration, but reasonable range and accuracy. Definitely useful for sort of stemming breakthroughs of armored vehicles. Then we got the air tab, which is again pretty cool. We got the Hawks joining the fray. So they come with the 30mm, the Aiden Mark IV, and they also get plenty of rockets. So you got 68mm rockets there. Really nice, cheap rocket aircraft. You get 5 on a card for 55 points. These are going to be very, very nice. I think they're actually going to be used probably quite a lot, just because they're so cheap. You're going to be able to pick off infantry squads with them and get value out of them quite easily. Then we got the iHawk, or just the normal Hawk, with the AIM-9s. For 70 points, I'm not sure this is going to be as effective. Neither of these have ECM. They only have 6 health. They're more akin to like an Alpha Jet, right? That's already in the game. So this is going to struggle to get value, I think, for the amount of points it costs. Unless you manage to shoot down like an expensive helicopter or 2 with it. That's what it would be used for. You want to be going for helicopters with this thing. You wouldn't really be able to take down enemy aircraft with it, because your low ECM means you're always going to get hit by missiles that outrange you before you get close. Almost always. Then we have the Canberra. Really cool again. It's really the one thing that I love about Eugen games is when they add units that you don't see very often in other war games, and the Hawk is one of them. I think it's getting added to War Thunder very soon, but the Canberra, super cool. Like really awesome to see this in the game. It's a seed aircraft, so it's electronic warfare. What this does is when it flies over enemy radar AA, it spots them, and it also reduces their accuracy by 20% whilst the seed radius is like overhead. And yeah, it can be very powerful if combined with other airstrikes. So for 175 points, pretty slow, 850 kilometers per hour speed if you compare that to like even something like the Harrier. Harrier's 800 kilometers per hour speed, but like most aircraft are like 1,000 plus that you'd use for airstrikes. So it's reasonably slow, which means it's going to take a lot of shots, but it does have 60% ECM, 10 health. Not too shabby. You can bring it in with the HE cluster loadout as well. So you get 2 cluster bombs and 6 HE bombs, and these aren't that bad. Like, that's 6 513 kilogram bombs, which is a decent payload on its own, plus 2 cluster for 175 points. You bring this alongside the Canberra with the seed, you're going to be having a good time. I'm just surprised that this has no ECM when this has 60% ECM, but probably just because this has the technology in the nose to make that the case. Regardless, moving on, we have the Phantom H.D.R. which comes with the Skyflash and AIM-9s. Skyflash got a little bit of a buff a while ago, so they're longer range now, 7,075 meter range, 50% accuracy, 6 HE, so very good value for money for 185 points. Get 20% ECM. Yeah, decent fighter and looking very cool. Love the livery on it. Then we got the Harrier GR5 with the 6 513 kilogram bombs, a very nasty payload for 215 points, 40% ECM on this thing. The only thing that lets Harriers down is their slow speed, and they have like less health, so they're only 8 damage. And there's also the one with the cluster. This is a very nasty cluster loadout as well, 6 264 kilogram cluster bombs. And then we've got the Tornado. Tornado F3, looking gorgeous. And this is 27mm gun. You got the 4 infrareds, and then you got the Skyflash Super Temp, which has the 8,475 meter range, so even longer range on this. 30% ECM. Air optics are exceptional. It's a very nice platform, for sure. And you can get 2 cards of them. And that's your lot for the Home Defence Region London. And I really like this deck. Like, as a Brit, this deck is tickling my pickle just a little bit, you know. So let's throw together a quick deck, and we will see how we get on. So probably just gonna rock out with one of each of those. I don't know if I want to use the Wessex Supply, but we'll bring up the Rover CP. I might double card Rover CPs if I want to save space elsewhere. We're definitely bringing in the SASG, definitely going to bring in the Airmobile Terriers and the Terrier Pioneers. Then we'll probably do cards with Carl Gustav. We need probably a guards leader in there. It's just a very elite tab. It really is. Do I want anything else? Like maybe like Rifle Patrol could be interesting. Just to have running around the flanks. And we probably want to put the Guards Milan in there as well. So I'm thinking something like that is not too bad. I'm going to probably stay away from Reservist for this deck. I might want to slot in the Milan 1s. I think close range infantry probably not going to be as useful. Let's bring in the Milan 1s as well. Just keeping them together. Let's put the guards there. We'll put them like there. That'll do. Perfect. Alright, moving on to the artillery. Definitely the AS-90s. And then I think we're going to try out the 25-pounders. I don't know if they can drop smoke. I assume that they can. Because otherwise you probably want some mortars. Tank tab. Definitely bringing in challengers. We'll bring in the Rover Milan for sure, the Ferret Swing Fire, and we'll do. I guess the Chieftain Mark 9s have got to come. Chieftain. Kind of want to put like a couple, like 20 Centurions in there. All right, well let's try it. I don't know if it's going to fit. We've already used up 30 activation points. We've still got 4 tabs to go. Going to bring the Guard Sniper with its special helicopter. We'll bring in the Lynx AH-7 Chancellor. We'll definitely bring in the Special Fox. I probably need some more recon. We're going to do normal scouts. Almost tempted to go Terrier Scouts because you get more availability and you get a recon card with it. AA is definitely going to be Bloodhounds. And we'll bring the Star Streak. AA tab here is actually very generous. We'll bring some Javelins. And then helicopters, we'll do Lynx H7 Helarm, and then aircraft. Definitely tornadoes. I really want to try the Canberra combo, just because it seems really fun. And then on top of that, I think realistically what I'd probably do is run the Canberra with Harriers, but I want to see how the Canberra bomber works. So we'll run HE Harriers with it. And that will have to do. Maybe I do drop the Centurions there just so that we can run some extra aircraft. I want to try out the Hawks with rockets. And then we'll run a second card of Rover CPs. And that will make sure we have 8 leaders with a relatively well-rounded deck. Alright, awesome. Very, very cool. Let's have a look at this as a whole. So, H.D.R. London. The infantry tab is pretty nuts. I could probably upvet some of the guards, just because we have so many of them, but because I've been playing a lot of team games and 10v10 lately, availability seems really important. Artillery is reasonable. It's going to help you like dislodge enemy HGMs and stuff. That's mainly what you're going to use it for, I imagine, and also help with those infantry engagements, which you're probably going to win anyway. Then we've got the tank tab. The Centurion Mark 13 is going to be really, really good if you spam them, I think. And I think like Ferret Swingfire and Rover Milan are both going to be decent as well. You got really good recon. AA's super fun. Helicopter's cool. And then the air tab's going to be really awesome as well. I'm going to try out the Canberra, probably change it afterwards to like Harrier clusters or something like that. And then you got like perfect air tab there. Really, really cool. I like it a lot. Yeah, big fan. Well, let me know what you guys think of H.D.R. London in the comments. But that is all from me. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.